We haven't even talked Crowder. We had mentioned on Friday. I don't know if you'd wanted us to or not, but you had said you might miss Friday's show. You had texted us in the morning. It was very casual. Hey, heading to the White House with the Kansas City Chiefs. Probably be back in time for the show. And we commented on it several times on Friday. And I knew that if you were indeed there, that you weren't going to be there for the show because I was watching it live. First, he did an address on Israel, which may have delayed when he was meeting with the Chiefs, but I don't think he met with the Chiefs till it was like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Did you end up going? Were you at the White House?
Yes, I just sent out a some Instagram video or tagged something or liked something or reposted something. And yeah, we were in the old war room until it moved to the Pentagon. The war room in the White House is where they had us set up, and we did a whole show, and it was pretty cool to be walking around the White House.
So what were you there for? The pivot? Because I know you didn't play for the Chiefs, right?
No, I don't think so. I got hit in the head a lot. No,
Yeah.
no, they were like, there's media outlets that have the opportunity to go to those events, and we got invited as like, as a podcast or kind of transitioning into mainstream media. They kept saying linear media. I don't even know what that means, but
Linear
linear
media.
Linear?
No,
But
I mean linear media, but regardless.
yeah, so they were like, hey, and they reached out to us and like, if you want to come cover the the little performance they did, then you can. And we were like, okay, cool. But it was last second, so then I had to run over there. I'll tell you this. The Secret Service is real. They don't play. Like, they don't joke, they don't smile, they all have dark glasses on. Like, what you see in movies is really what the Secret Service
You thought
was,
you would just charm them?
I thought, like, I'd sneak into the West Wing,
Right.
and they weren't with it. They were very serious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So did you get to talk with any of the Chiefs after they had the presentation with the president?
No, we talked before because they were
Gotcha.
walking down and we were leaving. Like, we did a whole thing. Like, it was because Fred couldn't make it because his son Austin was graduating. So it was just Ryan and myself. So we did like a, kind of like a thing, like, how cool is it to be in the White House, like little, introduction. And then we did a little outro afterwards. And we were walking around and the players were walking around. So we got to talk to all the players. We saw Travis and we saw the safety. He's my friend. I don't even know his name. But yeah, we saw a bunch of the dudes walking around. And then we were walking through, and they have like, it's a maze in the White House. It's amazing. Like, there's like, when you miss what South and North is. Like, you don't know.
Thought it was a traditional ranch house.
I thought, maybe a Florida flat. But really, you'll go downstairs and take a left.
There 3-2. What is that about? 3-2.
You'll go downstairs and take a left, and take another left, and take another left, then take another left. And I'm like, we just walked in a square. We took 4 lefts, and then you'll just open up, and it'll be the backyard or what's it called, the Rose Garden.
Yeah, Rose Garden.
We were in the Rose Garden.
Oh, that's cool. I would love to see all that stuff. So you saw the Rose Garden. That's really cool.
We walked past the Rose Garden, but this is, how God blesses me. So we're walking, and you have to walk, like, and it's blocks. Like, the White House is in the middle, but you go to all these buildings and walk around streets, cross streets. You have to show them your damn ID 100 times. And we walked across this street, and I have a small bladder, so I pee a lot. So we're walking across. We have 3 escorts, the ones that just show you places, not the other type. But we have 3 of them. So I walk, and I'm like, hey, ma'am, it was like young, young people. I call young people, anybody in their 20s is young. And it was like 2 young girls and a young dude. And I was like, hey, man, I got to go to the bathroom. And the girl was like, oh, the closest bathroom's right here. So we walk into this building, and I just walk in. When we walk in, there are 10 Secret Service agents just standing there, just like you see them in the movies. Black and blue suits, dark sunglasses. And they standing there. You know how I do. Hey, fellas, what y'all up to, baby? Everybody good? What up, big dog? No smile, didn't even turn their head. So I walk in. She takes me to the bathroom. I go in the bathroom. When I walk out, there's a dude that had to be 6'8" standing there. And so I turned to him, and I'm just being me. Hey, what up, bro, man? I can't go to the bathroom. I think we're going to the Chiefs parade. What's your name? I say Channing Crowder. What are you here for? And now I get scared because he has no smile. He's just straight like a robot. I was like, I'm here with the media to go to the Chiefs. You know, Joe's talking to the Chiefs. Who are you here with? Media. I ran out of answers. And so he's like, the exit's this way. And I go to walk out, and he walked so close to me from the back. Like, if I would have took a misstep, his crotch would have hit my back. And I walked out the door, and I turned around. I was like, man, I appreciate you, big dog. And he just looked at me stone-faced and closed the door behind me.
Maybe you were somewhere near President Biden at that point.
And the little girl that walked me in told me that was the West Wing. Oh. And Joe Biden was talking to the president of Belgium at the time. And that's why there were so many Secret Service lined up. So I accidentally walked into the West Wing to go pee. And there were two very important people on the other side of some door. And that's why Dikembe Mutombo was acting the way that he was
interesting.
Acting. But it was, I'm telling you, the Secret Service took the show from me because I saw what protection looks like. There wasn't but maybe 300 people there. There were 150 Secret Service agents just standing everywhere. You couldn't, because I kept joking. I was like, man, I'm going to go hug Joe Biden. And the lady looked, she was like, no, you're not. I was like, it's like Joe's walking out because he walked down through the Rose Garden and to walk onto the little stairs. And they were like, yeah. And you can kind of see him lining up when Joe was coming. And I was like, Joe's coming out right here. She was like, yeah, Joe and his wife is going to walk here. His family's going to be behind him. Like, she knew the whole thing. And I was like, so when Joe comes out, can I just run up and give him a quick hug? She said, you'll never get to him. And
after I saw you try though.
After I saw what happened, I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to stay right here on row 19 and just chill. Because, man, hey, that Secret Service is real deal.
Fascinating, man. So cool. We didn't do the 305 alarm because it was a fascinating story. You want to get it out of the way, or
yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Jimmy gets antsy if we don't do it.
We'll do it.
All right.
It's 305. Dale. God bless.
Dale.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You're welcome. And hey, New York, South Florida owns you. Enjoy your stupid bagels while we win rings.
There you go, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
How's the wrist, Jimmy? I see you're still wearing the brace. I'm glad you are. Crowder is also wearing a brace. It is really just a Publix bag that he's wrapped around his wrist. I think it's to mock you, but I'm not certain.
Yeah, it's to mock me.
How's the wrist?
Good. I mean, I have an appointment on Wednesday, so hopefully I can get a result by then.
Are you still experiencing pain?
When I turn my wrist, yes.
Yeah. And so the brace keeps it immobile.
Correct.
So that you don't experience that pain.
Yes.
All right. So it's necessary.
Hurts every time I turn my head to the left. Do I need a neck brace?
We're all rooting for you, Jimmy.
Do I need a neck brace?
Let's get headlines here for the 3:00 hour with Alejandro Solana. There is a lot going on.
Something else, too. They said they had a bar. All they had was tea and lemonade.
What do you mean they said they had a bar? You say they said they'll have a bar at the ceremony?
We're standing there. We're waiting for it to start. And the lady says, would y'all like a drink? And I said, I would love a drink. And she was like, the bar is over there on like the other side of the little yard. Big old yard, but it's a nice yard. And I was like, I'd love to go to the bar. You can't go anywhere by yourself. Somebody always has to escort you. So I was like, I'll go to the bar. So I'm walking around. I'm like, okay, we're going to the bar. I'm going to grab me an IPA, see if they got Funky Buddha. I don't know what's going on here. Walk around, tea and lemonade. That's it.
That surprised you?
Tea and lemonade? This is a
You thought it would be a good idea to get people hammered before a live TV event with the president?
Oh, throw me a beer, wine. I don't need hard liquor, but I can't grab an IPA.
We've seen a little glimpse into Crowder's decision-making abilities just in the last 10 minutes, just during the story. 8 or 9 shining examples of why he should never be allowed to make a decision.
Shoot me a beer, sir.
You want to get people all lit up before the live presidential events? It's a good idea.
Hey, man, powerful. We are the most powerful man in the country. I can't get a beer, lemonade, and tea. And the lemonade.
You cannot, no.
And the lemonade wasn't even sweet. It was lemon water. I said, man, I don't want this.
Mm.
They had a big fountain. Cement pencil was sticking out of the ground. Pretty cool.
Cement pencil?
Everybody was taking pictures of this big cement pencil. And I was like, they were like, you want to take a picture? I'm like, of what, the cement pencil? I'm fine, thanks.
The Washington Monument, I believe.
Everybody was excited to see it.
That's not at the White House.
It's around there. It's all that cool stuff is in the same little quadrant.
Imagine that's the first time it's ever been described as the semen pencil.
But wait a second. You were an academic All-American. I mean, that's such a load of horse crap. I've always deferred to you with this stuff. I mean, if you were an academic All-American, then I was a Nobel Prize winner.
I know math and science, and I know how to write a great essay. I don't study it. What's a Washington Monument? Who studies that? What's that going to better my life?
Well, how does math better your life? You've done a lot of math lately?
I do a lot of math.
You do the math, or your iPhone does the math?
No, crowded powder. Let's see it. What we got, the overhead,
and you put it into your iPhone. You don't do a thing when it comes to math.
Pad and paper.
Yeah. Pad and paper.
So that's the White House, huh? In a nutshell.
Pretty much. It's old too. You could tell it's old. Bathroom, all the doors are low, the bathroom's little, the toilet's tiny. Like I thought it'd be like palatial. It was very old.
It is very old.
Not that old. I mean, it was refurbished in like 1814.
You can tell it's old, but it's just cool to walk around. And they tell you all the time, this is the corner where Truman found out about this. And I'm like, oh, okay. Where's the bar with beer?
Academic All-American. Truman found out about this.
They told me some war or something. I was like, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I asked them another joke that didn't land. I think Ryan got mad with me about this one. Another joke that didn't land well was when we were in the old war room. They have pictures everywhere of these old white dudes. So we're looking around and they got the little escorts and the secret security standing there like it's a room full of people. And I look around and I'm like, hey, who are these guys? And they're like, hey, they're the directors of defense, And I get up and start looking around. It was like 1774, 1806, and they had all these old white dudes. And I made the black joke. I was like, would they allow me to come to their house? I thought it was funny. No one laughed but one cameraman because he got what I was saying.
Didn't go over.
They did not smile. And I was like, hey, Jim Crow was 1863 or 1963, whatever. And they were like, it was crickets. I thought it was a great joke.
Read the room.
One dude was Hispanic.
Read the room.
All right. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, he was from Miami too.
Hey, our guy.
Also, I'm guessing secretaries of defense, not directors of war or whatever you said.
I don't know what these people are.
Also, 1774 doesn't exactly check out either.
I don't know. I just know the president weren't around in 1774.
No, I don't think so.
As y'all see, I had a 3.8 and a 3.7. It got my 4.0 got
not so certain. I'm not so certain you did.
I can tell
American history, not his thing, Hawk. It's not his thing. No worries.
You don't think?
I hugged Kamala's picture because she wasn't there. And I don't even know how to say her name. I think it's Kamala. I don't know. Kamala, yeah. I hugged her picture.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed Washington, D.C. I mean,
it seems like you really learned a lot.
I learned that Secret Service is real.
Can a cement get a pencil?
I get you, though, because when I went to the Super Bowl in Miami, my biggest takeaway from the Super Bowl was NFL security is like Secret Service. You couldn't go a single place in Hard Rock Stadium, in like the bowels of Hard Rock Stadium.
Well, I don't think that's NFL security, though. I mean, that is governmental security because they can't afford an attack on a big event like that.
You could not turn a corner without 8 dudes in suits asking you, who are you? Let me see your credential. Why are you here? Where are you going? And if you don't have a clear, concise answer, you're out. Like, they don't care who you are. You're out.
So now think about it. When I saw the structure of what was going on. The West Wing is not very impressive. The name is impressive. The West Wing is tiny. And I got to stand on the press conference table and act like the president, and I was snapping on people. But when I saw the structure, I was literally like 30 or 40 yards from Joe Biden. So it clicked to me like why they were acting the way they were acting, but I thought I was just going to the restroom and trying to find a beer, and they served lemonade.
Well, I've heard enough. I'm writing in Channing Crowder on the ballot in November.
He seems to really have it all together.
I gotta shoot y'all the video when I stood on the press desk, I think they call it.
You didn't stand on a desk. You stood behind the lectern, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And there was a bunch of people out there, like a bunch of humans, and they were looking at me, and I started just acting like people asked me questions. And I said, "Don't act crazy," and put my hand out, very presidential.
No one's ever done that before. Had the fake press conference behind the lectern. Only every 13-year-old safety patrol
said, "Y'all, mine was good."
All right.
It was a good experience. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, that does sound neat. I would love to do that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Never been to the White House, Hawk?
I have not. I mean, I've been outside the White House, standing there taking a picture like everyone else, but I've never been inside. No, I've never done a tour. You've been?
I have. Yeah, one of my friends works on Capitol Hill, so we got the hookup. It was pretty cool. A really cool experience.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
They knew you weren't a threat. That's why they left you alone. You can't bust a grape.
Listen, man, with the way your tooth has been flying out, that's a projectile, according to Secret Service. So getting anywhere near the president,
they had radar attached to that tooth.
Give a brother lemonade. I've been up 17 hours. Lemonade.
Security gathered in the situation room, keeping an eye. They had a closed circuit monitor on your tooth.
It's as loud as I was. I guarantee I wasn't a cold green. I was a cold yellow or whatever it is. They kept their eye on me.